Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and we have another Reddit thread that we're going to talk about. You guys do enjoy these one-take videos where I just talk my mind about certain questions and stuff on the Reddit that kind of, it has some traction, has some replies, so I decide why not. I'm going to, obviously talk about it. Probably other people want to hear about it as well, so we're going to go from there, right? So today, the question is, genuine question, what exactly went wrong with Bannerlord's development? So how we do these is, I'm going to link this down below as well, just so you guys can see it for yourself and do whatever you guys want to do. What we're going to do is I'm going to read this, I'm going to read some of the responses, and then I'm going to give my opinion on it. All right, let's do it. So this is the original poster. I'm not asking this question as some sort of insult to the game. I enjoy playing Bannerlord, and I've sunk quite a lot of time into it. I'm just generally interested to know exactly what went wrong. I didn't really keep up with the game's development that much. So why did it take 8 years to just develop the bare, incredibly unfinished game that we have now? Okay. Now we have our first response. Too much feasting and consuming of butter. Good one. Serious answer, not so much wrong as it's a big game with lots of mechanics, graphic changes, and work done to make the changes. They teased fans too soon, in my opinion. The Steam page launched in 2016, and they came out too soon with the devlogs and trailers. They built up a lot of early hype considering where the game was in terms of development. As for the state of the game, I couldn't say. Maybe they felt they need to get it out sooner, and maybe they were pressured by higher-ups. Who knows? Okay. That's possible. That's okay. Let's keep reading. This is the second response. According to a dev, they didn't produce a design document of any kind. They just kind of added features one by one and wound up having to redo a bunch of stuff more than 3 times as a result. I don't remember the dev saying this, but okay. I'm not a dev, and the closest I've been to game development is a closed beta tester or another game, but I have worked on long-term projects before, and not having a firm detailed plan, we called ours the Bible for a reason, is a really easy mistake to make for people who just scaled up. It seems like this is an issue with Tailworld. Seemingly every decision is getting routed through Armagon for approval, which is I think he's the main guy of the dev team. Individually, instead of him overlooking the whole project and having greenlit it years ago. It would make sense in some cases where they were dealing with sensitive stuff, like finding out some announced feature doesn't work, so they need to cut it out. But the campaign dev had to talk with him about alliances in October, and even it was partially acceptance, they still need to decide what the downside to having an alliance would be. Also, there is every single last indication the Tailworld staff consider in-game battles missions to be overwhelming priority, while campaign is something of an afterthought. I was kind of worried that this was the case when they announced the multiplayer beta was going to be released way before anything else, and the start of EA pretty much showed that the campaign stuff was wildly effing underdeveloped compared to the battles themselves. So it's probably a combination of mismanagement. Being good at making software doesn't make you good at management, and different perceptions of the same product. Okay. Let's read one more. Cyberpunk and Star Citizen were both announced the same year as Bannerlord. Cyberpunk, we can assume, was being worked on for some time before that. There's no need to assume, my guy. Cyberpunk, hey. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be serious. Listen, I don't know when they announced Cyberpunk, but there's so many memes of how old people have gotten since the the first trailer or the first talk of Cyberpunk. It's been a long time. A long time. And the fact that they're delaying it a couple times now, they're just teasing at this point. But alright, let's stay on topic. It's only releasing next month, and it seems to have a fair few downgrades and cut features. CD Projekt Red was an established studio from the beginning. They are pretty established. They are the guys behind Witcher, right? If I'm not mistaken. The last Witcher was Witcher 3 was an insanely good game. Insanely good game. It's not even close. You know what I mean? So they're pretty established, yeah. Star Citizen is nowhere close to any kind of 1.0 release. While playable scope has only expanded, CIG built their studio and their engine with the game. Red Dead Redemption 2 took at least 7 years, with a juggernaut that is Rockstar and an existing engine behind it. Bannerlord is being developed by a small indie team on a new engine. Okay. Alright, so there's the replies. Alright, let me read the question one more time and let me give you my kind of input on it, right? So why did it take 8 years to just develop the bare, incredibly unfinished game that we have now? Alrighty, so here's my take on it, right? So as soon as the other games were released, I'm pretty sure they didn't work. Whenever you have a new game that just new game just released, let's say Warband, right? They had Warband released, then they had all the extra stuff that they were doing with Warband, and they were obviously making hot fixes for that. They were obviously what's it called? Making updates, making DLCs for that game, and they probably had a smaller team working on Bannerlord development, right? As the time grew on, obviously that team grew to what it is today, and I feel like they wanted to get all the basics in, and I do agree kind of with the first answer right here that there might have been some pressure because nowadays in this atmosphere that we live in, early access is like the way. If you don't go early access with your game, it's like you're taking a risk for something. That's how it feels. There's so many early access games released nowadays where it's like, can you say it's bad or good? Some early access games are great. Some early access games are garbage. So it's just, you can't say it's a completely bad thing because sometimes, if you didn't get this early access phase for some of these great games that you are playing right now, guess what? You want to see these games for another 3 to 4 years. So it's a question up for debate, right? I feel like in terms of unfinished, here's the problem. So the core mechanics are there, and I feel that what people are looking for is all that content, all that juicy content, that that like the stuff that you can do that like goes really deep, like diplomacy, really deep diplomacy, or really deep alliances and stuff of that nature, right? And it's not there yet. It's not. It's not there yet. It's unfortunate, and I feel like if I was the Tail Wars studio, what they wanted to do and what they stated in pretty much whenever they launched the game for EA, they stated, hey, for a big part of this, big chunk of this EA, we want to just go on full performance mode, full this mode, and they did deliver. Let's not cap around. They did deliver. They said they were going to up the performance, and if you check the performance from when the game launched to where it is now, it is as clear as day that they did do the performance thing that they insisted they were going to do, right? But what's it called? People want more. Obviously, people want all the deep diplomacy, all the deep alliances, and I do agree with this right here, where they state that what's it called? That I forgot exactly which one, where there might be some mismanagement. I do kind of agree with that because while they are working so much on performance, as a manager or as an overlooker of the project, you should be able to see that, hey, this diplomacy thing needs to get worked on. A lot of people are talking about it. This needs to get worked on. A lot of people are talking about it, and you really need to start shifting your resources to make sure those things are worked on. Are they still going to come? I believe so. I think they are still going to come. I even slightly believe that they're going to delay the official release to make sure all that stuff is in there. Now, do I think they're going to add all the stuff that every single player wants? No. The devs have stated time and time again, they don't want this to be Warband 2. They would have named it that. They want this to be Bannerlord. So it's a different focus. It's a different game. It might not be exactly what you want, but it's still entertaining in my opinion. I played for a long time this game. I think over 500 hours. I know people with over 1,500 hours, and it just depends what you really, really like. I feel like there's different aesthetics for Warband, different aesthetics for Bannerlord. And I feel like we should really judge Bannerlord when it fully comes out, when DLC is out, when all that is out. Then I want people to look back and think to themselves, what's good about Bannerlord, what's good about Warband. Because it's really easy to look at a finished game with a lot of DLCs and a lot of, very highly respected mods versus a game that, the modding tools just came out a month ago. I understand people's frustration. Don't get it wrong. I do understand people's frustration. Maybe they should have indeed held this on for a little bit longer. Maybe they were pressured to get this out as soon as possible. Maybe they want to compete with, obviously these other big games that released trailers and stuff like that, right? Like that announced the same year. I get it. There's a lot of pressure and all that, but yeah, as an outsider, that's all we really know. We can't really know exactly what they know, but I think in terms of them working on the game and trying to finish the game, I think they will do it. I think I do have hope. and I have seen that their work ethic is there. So I'm excited for the future. We're gonna see how this rebellion thing comes along, and obviously with the rebellion thing, there's gonna be some alliance stuff. You know, there's gonna be bigger fixes. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm not gonna judge it until it's completely out, until they say, hey, this is what the finished product looks like, and then I'm gonna fully judge the game. I know that and like the point of why is it completely unfinished after 8 years? It just depends how you look at it. If you really think about it, if they just added the diplomacy in there right now, the alliances, and the pretty much being able to marry what's it called? Marry off your companions into alliances and stuff like that. And let's say they added like a couple new features, like let's say they added feasting, like this little hunting mode, this, and that. If they just added those like things right there, you would think this game is completely finished. Like that's really what it's really missing. If you really, really think about it, diplomacy, alliances, marriage, and a couple small little features like some feasts, let's say like some meetings, stuff like that. If they just added those things in, the game would be way more finished, if that kind of makes sense, right? It just, you know, we just gotta wait. That's the best thing I could give you. But yeah, I don't want to just keep rambling on, but hopefully that kind of gave you some insight on it. I think, we should judge it when it's completely finished. When they say, hey, this is it, this is the product, what do you think of it? Then we should give our full final opinion. Yes, there's key stuff missing in the game right now. It's EA. What do you expect? It's not finished. That's in the name, right? I think they did deliver on the performance side, the stuff that they said that they were going to fully focus on. They delivered on it. And I feel like once they switch from that to fully focusing on the other stuff that I just talked about, diplomacy, merit, this, and that, I feel like, that's gonna be it. Once because they're gonna fully focus on that, get that done, and boom, we got a good, beautiful game. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Ask me any questions, any concerns, and like always, stay safe.